Hi, good evening. Welcome to the Gaunt podcast. Tonight, Starmer, it might be your birthday, but stop treating us like we are mugs. You are a fake patriot, and so is Yvette Cooper. It was vomit inducing what you two did this morning as you went around the TV and radio studios trying to make out that Labour are the great patriots when we know full well you despise our flag. Because if you loved our flag, you'd have sorted out the migrant hotels, you'd have sorted out the asylum crisis, but instead you'd rather call us true Brits fascist, far right thugs. I'm right, aren't I, Keir? So that's what we're talking about tonight. Enough spin, enough of the flags. Starmer, the fake patriot, is exposed. I've got some breaking news for you as well. It looks like Starmer's at last listened to what I've been going on about. They're talking about maybe using warehouses to put the illegal immigrants in. But you know what'll happen? That'll be a fudge. They won't do it full on. And also now they're talking about bringing in digital ID, not just for the illegal immigrants who they've let go into 4- and 5-star hotels. No, for the rest of us as well. Why should we be asked to see our papers? We haven't done anything wrong. Control the borders, you idiot. Get us out of the ECHR and this problem will be solved. Oh, by the way, Keir, happy birthday. 63 years old today, but he's got the mental age of a 16-year-old, in my opinion. Everything's waited. But he was the director of public prosecutions, of course, and Jimmy Savile didn't come over his desk. Anyway, the polls are at rock bottom. All trust has gone. He's never been lower in the polls. Approval rating now minus 41. So people are demanding action. People want secure borders. They want to end the migrant hotels and the squeezy soap, and they want a stop to the excuses. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the chat below, and we'll use those later to fuel the debate. My name's Gaunt. You won't hear anything like this on any mainstream radio or telly. I shoot from the lip. So the first question, is Starmer the fake patriot? Polls hitting rock bottom. Immigration debate is the hottest subject going. Watch this live debate here and have your say. So he's got falling poll ratings. And I'm now, and many others are calling him a fake patriot. How dare he now wrap himself up in the flag of St. George after what he and his party have done before? So I'm asking you, is Starmer out of touch with the British people? Never. Should he resign on his birthday after hitting his lowest ratings ever? That'd be a good birthday present for us all, wouldn't it? So this is the place for unfiltered debate on UK politics, Labour policy, immigration, and the future of our great country, Britain. Put your views at the bottom, as I say, and we'll come to them soon. Is he a fake patriot? What do you make of the Labour Party? What do you make of illegal immigration, the migrant hotels, the ECHR? I want your views, all of them, and I want them now. As you can see them at my daughter's today, so you can join in here as well. I can do this show anywhere. Redskin, he's going to be the first one today. He's gaslighted the public during the general election, and he's trying to do it again. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. He's even got the cheek to say today, this is the way you should fly your flag. He tried that before, and we gave him short shrift. He's doing it again. Hi, Gaunt. I used to listen to you all the time on the radio. Great to hear you standing up for the nation and talking sense, as always. Well, I'm not sure about that, but I do thank you, Jamie. Jamie Stewart, what was he on? He was on Facebook. We're on Facebook, Twitter. We're live at this moment and on YouTube, and you can always catch up later on one of my on the podcasts if you want to listen just to the audio when you're walking the dog, or you can go to my TV channel, John Gaunt TV on YouTube. Right, let's get back to those two today. Hang St. George's flags wherever you like, says Yvette Cooper. I wonder why she's suddenly become so patriotic. Couldn't be the fact that she could be out of a job soon, could it? What do you reckon? You don't think she's going for the reform voters, do you? These people make me flipping sick. It's so obvious what they're up to. And of course, Starmer yesterday said, oh, yeah, I love the flag. I've got a flag in my flat in Downing Street. What's that smell? Oh, that's right. It's bullshit. So anyway, Yvette Cooper, honestly, I nearly choked this morning watching it. She was on telly, on the BBC. You've probably seen the clips. I put some of them up. This is what she said. I'm going to confess. I've not just got the St. George's flag. I have St. George's bunting. I have also Union Jack bunting, which is currently still hanging up in my garden shed. I have Union Jack flags. We have Yorkshire Rose flags and bunting as well. She also said, we've got Yorkshire tea flags. What the hell is she on about? I think flags are really important. It's what brings us together. Then she did that sincere face that she does that makes you, and I better not say the next line, but you know what I'm thinking. I do think that people should be coming together around our flags and using the flags to come together and not being for division. Here, this is where she starts slagging off people who've been waving the flag for months. It should be used as something that we can all support and have pride in. It's a flag, you dozy mare. You can't tell us how to do it. However, on the topic of hanging flags from motorway gantries, I must tell you, I came down the M40 today. Every single bridge had the flag of St. George on it. Made you feel proud to be English. So on the subject of whether that should be allowed, this is what the Home Secretary, Yvette Cooper, said this morning. This bit was on Times Radio. She said, oh, put them up anywhere. I would put them up anywhere. We have the St. George's flag above the Pontefract Castle, and we fly it in my constituency. So I think it's good for us to feel proud of flags, of the Union Jacks, when we sing the national anthem, but also to be really proud of our British values that underpin that. And those British values are fairness, decency, about togetherness, and about that coming together. And what I don't want to see is people using, claiming that Britishness is about division, because I don't think it is. I think it's about coming together. Oh, really, Yvette? So is that why your stormtroopers, the police, arrested that woman last night or the night before in Epping? It was the night before, wasn't it? Because she got on top of the council house and got the flag of St. George out. Don't talk shit. We've seen through you, and we've also seen through Starmer. You're just now desperately worried that you're going to lose at the next election. Well, let me tell you something, Yvette. You are. And let me tell you, all of this is too little too late. You had a chance yesterday to put things right, but you just pounced about at the edges. And that's unforgivable. And the British public, especially the English public, are never, ever going to forgive you and your lousy leader. You got that? Because that's the facts. Talking about the leader, he said, I am the leader of the Labour Party. We know, Keir. And we put the Union Jack on our Labour Party membership cards. I always sit in front of the Union Jack. It's called the Union flag, you idiot. But anyway, I've been doing it for years. And it attracted a lot of comment when I started doing it. Yeah, most of it was negative. They all said, what the hell are you sitting in front of our flag? Because we can always remember that woman who you've made into a dame who complained and put up snobby pictures on Twitter years ago during the football. She somehow thought it was plebeian. It was so working class. Yeah? Do you remember her? I've forgotten her name, but I'm sure you'll know her. So he goes on to say that his family had got a St. George's flag, quote, in our flat in Downing Street. And he added, I'm very encouraging of flags. Oh, I know you are. I've seen the Palestinian demonstrations and Hamas. Well, that was under the belt. I think they're patriotic. And I think they're a great symbol of our nation. But then the briefing note comes into play. He says, I don't think they should be devalued and belittled. I think sometimes when they're used purely for divisive purposes, actually it devalues the flag. I don't want to see that because I'm proud of our flag. Pass me the sick bucket, please, Charlie. It's enough to make you want to vomit. I don't believe a single word, because if Labour were really patriotic, they'd tell Sadiq Khan to fund St. George's Day, wouldn't they? Like he funds St. Patrick's Day, or he funds all these other, Pakistani Day in Birmingham, Indian Independence Day, all of which I haven't got a problem with, by the way. The only ones I've got a problem with are Palestinian stroke Hamas. But he doesn't fund St. George's Day in the capital city of our great country. And then Starmer tells me he's patriotic. Bullshit. Do you agree or disagree? I'm coming to your comments in a couple of moments. And I have got, I'm not going to say it's my exclusive. It broke about 10 minutes ago on the Sun's website about how they're now taking up my ideas and thinking about putting these illegals not in 4-star hotels, but in warehouses. They've been discussing it today. They are panicking. As Mrs. Thatcher would say, they are frit. And do you know why? Because of the great British public, me and you, and particularly the women of Epping, Nuneaton, Manchester, who have gone out on the street and peacefully demonstrated, even when they're being antagonized and attacked by the Antifa, Labour, hate mob, right? Even when they're being attacked by that bunch of morons, they've kept showing their faces. They've not covered themselves up like the lefties, and they've just said what their views are. Yes? Are you with me or against me? This is people power. People power changing the world. Changing what Starmer has to do. And I told you this was possible. Absolutely possible. All we needed to do was keep bringing the pressure. I'll talk more about the warehouses in a moment. Let's go to the politics blog. Brilliant blog. If you're not following them, start doing so. They're panicking, John. They're copying other policies and pretending they love our country and our flag. It's time for him to go. This is what I'm saying. And you're right. But the problem is they are just copying. They don't believe it. And we, the British public, politics blog, we're too clever. We can see through this. The person who's putting up the Pakistani tweets, I'm just got to tell you something. I'm deleting your comments and I'm immediately banning you because you're clearly not Pakistani. You're just trying to incite people. So, right? Do you understand? I don't do that on this show. This is a show about real opinions. Jean Brandlin says, Gaunty, you are the best. Thank you. Do you fancy telling my wife that? Oh, by the way, and if you do think that, how about making a little donation? Just go down to the bottom of the comments on the YouTube channel and you'll see there's a $sign. Click on that and you don't have to pay in dollars, obviously. You can give me a few quid to keep these going. Alternatively, go to I forgot what it is now. How can I forget this? buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. You'll know it's me and the right page because my picture pops up, you lucky people. And today is the cutoff day, of course, for Buy Me a Coffee. So if you want to help me out this week, today is the day to donate that. And it's a $5 upwards. Donate as much or as little as you can. Don't stretch yourselves. Maggie Young, one of my regulars, she says, we've been sold down the river. It's too late, Labour. You are absolutely right. Oh, look who's there. Karen Salt. She used to work with me on BBC WM when we had the highest rated show, I think, in the whole of the Midlands, if not the country, on a Saturday morning. She used to produce it. Well, I think she started off answering my phones. Then she used to produce it. She's a good lass. Karen, lovely to see you. Thank you very much Indeed. Spread the word. Gaunt is back. I don't think I'm going to be back on the BBC, but I'm back here. They've already lost. I think this person's talking about Labour. Nobody wants these scumbags in office again. Scumbags, says Les. Thank you, Les. As I say, I've got a little bit of a story coming up for you in a moment. Wait for that. Graham Hatton, this duplicitous gang of shysters. Almost Shakespearean, that, Graham. Well done. When this is all over, we should never forget those who allowed this insanity to happen. Remember them. Remember them all. Yes, Graham, I'm with you. But what I say on that, Graham, there were politicians before in the Conservatives. And don't even get me started on the Liberals. It's the whole of the political class, apart from Reform and probably people like George Galloway, who are behind this. They all believe in this. They believe it's progressive to let everyone in. They believe we will need this multicultural society. No, we don't. Multiracial is fine, but it's predominantly a society based on Christian values, and that's how it should remain. Are you with me? I'm the only person brave enough to say this, right? Other people just come out with absolute bullshit. Let me just take a few more comments. Labour, big lying fools, says Rosette22. Correct. How can you lie to gain power, then do whatever you like without any pushback? It's now time to push back, says Paul on YouTube. Paul, you are absolutely correct. And the pushback has begun, and those women in Epping started it. And when they sat down to protest, that was a major moment. All of the violence, although you wouldn't know this if you watched the BBC, all of this violence has come from the left wing. And what do you make? What do you make of the way they took down that young woman who got up on the balcony? She wasn't inside the building, outside the building, at Epping Town Hall or whatever. The police went in mob-handed. I'm a massive supporter of the police. My dad was a chief constable. No, he was a constable all his life, right? I've worked for the Police Federation, their so-called union, but I can't stand police brutality, and I'm seeing too much of that. Don't be one of Starmer's storm troopers. Don't, because he's definitely on the wrong side of history. And then today, the guy who wrote Father Ted, one of the best comedies ever, Graham Linehan, flew in. I'm just going to mention this. Flew into Heathrow this morning. He got arrested. Mob-handed again. 5 coppers armed, but that's probably because they're at the airport anyway. They arrested him as he got off the plane, took him into a room and said, "We're arresting you." And he said, "What for?" And they said 3 tweets, right, that he'd said back in April about trans people. I've read them. I'm not going to repeat them now, but I read them and you can look them up. I don't think it's anything to get your knickers in a twist, whether you're wearing pantyhose or whether you're wearing Y-fronts, gents, ladies, whatever you are. Yeah? Absolutely disgraceful that that's going on. I thought the judges had ruled on this. And he was basically, his blood pressure went through the roof. He's a very nervy kind of guy. And I think it's damaged him physically. 5 policemen to basically arrest one of the funniest guys in Britain. It's a bit like, let's go and arrest Morecambe and Wise. Why? Are Mike and Bernie Winters on holiday? Do you understand where I'm coming from here? Absolutely disgraceful. Keep your comments coming in. Can you keep pressing the like button? Only got 15 likes so far. I need more than that. It helps the algorithm. And we've got to keep pushing the show. We're building the show. Last night I told you we've now got over 750, heading now very quickly to 800,000 views since I set up. We're going to hit 1 million soon. And that's a milestone. I might start making some money. I've told you, Lisa's got the audit sheet out and she needs every day, like today. She drove down with me today because I brought my equipment. I just haven't had time to set it up. Tomorrow I'll have my green screen up and all the rest of it. And she said, "How's the figures?" Oh, here we go. So I had to tell her. And last night I had one buy me a coffee. She just tutted and looked at me in that way as if to say, you pathetic old man, get a job. Well, I think I've got a job, and I think it's an important job, so I'm going to keep at it. But if you can help me out and make a donation, press the little $sign on the YouTube video, or please go to buymeacoffee.com and shove as much as you can in. It's £5 a drink. You can buy me either beer or coffee, whatever you think I need most. Right, let me read this to you. This broke about 10 minutes before I came on air. It's a Sun story. Channel migrants could be put in warehouses under a Labour scramble to accelerate the end of costly hotels and contain mounting voter fury. They're sceptical, just like I am, of whether it will happen. But when the Sun start doing a story like this and putting words in like scramble, accelerate the end of costly hotels, and contain mounting voter fury, you've lost the room. I know it's your birthday, Sir Keir. I don't give a shit, really. I know it's your birthday and it must be ruining it for you. But hey up, you've had 12 months to get this right, and you are, quite simply, a miserable failure. And Yvette Cooper, she can go into the sunset with you. Anyway, so then the story goes on to say, plans to roll out digital ID to curb small boat arrivals working illegally are also under discussion at an urgent ministerial meeting today. It's in Downing Street. I understand it's in the toilets because they're all cacking their pants. So Keir Starmer, according to the Sun, is aiming to diffuse growing anger over Britain's borders. That's an understatement for the Sun, isn't it? Britain's borders crisis that has seen reform surge to a commanding poll lead. They're 15 points ahead. Starmer today, evidently, according to the Sun, told his cabinet colleagues through the doors of the toilets of the need to go further and faster. I wish I hadn't started off with the toilet analogy. But anyway, they're all going to go further and faster in allying public frustration over the issue. Home Secretary Yvette Cooper, she was in the toilet as well, also said she was looking at moving asylum seekers into military and industrial sites in a bid to end hotels and private housing. Who suggested this months ago? I don't want to brag, but it was me. And then some of these poxy little radio stations took it up as well. But it was me, in my bedroom, my high-tech studio. I said the way to solve it overnight, Navy in the Channel, Army on the beaches at Dover, maybe even at Calais, the way we're going. Don't let anybody else in. Tow them back straight away. But also, over one weekend, move everybody out of the hotels with a squeezy soap, put them in tents, get the engineers, the army to do this. We do this if there was a flood in Pakistan or India. It's always our boys and girls who go out there and sort it out, REME or whatever it's called. We could do this, put them in tents, treat them properly, and then say to them, you got a choice. If you want to go home, go home. I also said, what about using old shopping centres or the big sheds on the outsides of towns, where places like IKEA used to be? And you know what? A few people copied my ideas, but it now looks like they're discussing it. But you see, I know how this contract works. They'll say, yeah, we're discussing it, and then they won't do it. Or they'll do it for about 5 people. Evidently, she went on to LBC. Are they still going? She says, well, we're looking at other government departments and we're looking with local councils at what some more appropriate sites might be, and certainly more appropriate than asylum hotels. Yvette, love, you've been in power for a year. You had 14 years waiting. Did you not think this through before? Brain of a rocking horse. Don't forget, small boat crossings are at a record high with nearly 30,000 arrivals since the start of this year. And also, don't forget, there's 210 migrant hotels and they cost £5.77 million a day to put these people up. Evidently, the ID card idea, that's Macron. He's saying, look, the 1 in, 1 out, or as I call it, 17 in and 1 out policy will only work if you bring in ID cards. So now we're listening to Macron, or Starmer is, and they want to bring in digital ID cards, not just for the criminals, but for all of us. Now, I've never ever been really, really anti, but because of digital IDs, I thought it was quite a good idea at one point, but not now. Not the way they use that information, not the way that you talk in your living room. And the next thing you know, you're getting adverts for whatever you were talking about on your computer or on Twitter or on Facebook. Or you look at something, right? And the next thing you know, you're getting flooded with offers for that particular product. Yeah? No. They've got enough on us already. We already live in surveillance society. I don't want to lose my freedoms. And COVID, you know where I stood on COVID, but now I've got serious concerns about the way some of that information was used. Don't start now typing up conspiracy theories. But we don't need ID cards for us. What we should have is an ID card for them. Not all immigrants, so don't get on your high horses, you uber liberal twats. I'm talking about the illegal ones until we find out if they're going to stay, if they are proper asylum seekers. Because that's the other thing I can't get my head around. How can these people who are so clever, they're in government, in all the parties, actually believe that most of these people are legal and genuine? Of course they're not. Just like that other idiot who's now Darren, whatever his name is. It may as well be Darren Day. Do you remember him off the telly? It may as well be Darren Day, who's been promoted to be chief financial guy for Starmer because he can't trust Rachel Thieves. This government is in a tailspin. I said it yesterday. This government is finished. This government is deceased. This is no longer a government. I should write a comedy sketch about that. Has anyone ever done that? Let's go. Craig Marson, he says, hi, John. He's on YouTube. I totally agree with you. Thank you for another awesome podcast telling the truth. Lord Kabakan says, what a waste of a good warehouse. Yes and no. If they put them in warehouses and it eased the problems with hotels and it was less money, that's surely a good idea. And let's face it, I saw that Patrick, whatever his name is, on GB News, Patrick Christie's. He went there, and that is what they're living in. And anyone who complains, I've just on the Sun, when I saw that story, they've got a load of videos of a bloke who came over on a boat. He's been putting them on YouTube. It's been taken down now. But go to the Sun website. The videos are still there. This bloke is going like that to us, literally and metaphorically, talking about his trip over. He's an Afghani. He can't speak English, of course. And he's made these videos and he's telling other Afghanis, come, get off your asses and come. It's brilliant. And then, so they've got him in the boat. Then they've got him in the hotel. He's in this bed. There's 4 beds in there. There's a double bed, a bit like in America, and 2 twins. You know, like when you get a family room. He's in there, lying there. Looks lovely. It's by Heathrow. In fact, it's the Crown Plaza, and I think I've actually stayed there when I've been going on a flight. He's in there for nothing. And he's basically doing that to you, me, everyone. Get a grip, Starmer. Happy birthday, by the way. Anyone got a present for him? There's no trust. He has proved he doesn't have our back, says Yolanda Garnett. We are on our knees financially and morally with this government. Well, great comment. Well done on Facebook. I have never in all my years of voting felt like a government wasn't listening to the people in some way. This man and his government hear no evil, see no evil, but they only speak evil. Lying, backstabbing people who are supposed to have the British people's interest at heart so disappointing. What an absolutely brilliant comment. Thank you very much indeed for that. I don't understand this. Wait a minute. I'm just getting... Jackie Ward was banned and their comments were removed. Well, I never banned you, Jackie. I don't know how that's happened. And Jamie Stewart, I don't know how that's happened either. I shall sort that out at the end of the show. But thank you for your comments. Trying to get through. David Marks, why can't the King dissolve Parliament and call a general election? Yeah, lots of people have been coming up with this, and I've been a bit rude about it in the past. But maybe that's what it's going to have to come to. I might have to be eating My words again. Labour planning phase 2. Label any patriot that speaks out against mass immigration as a terrorist and to arrest them at source. Andy the cabbie shows leaked transcript. Does he? Thank you for that. Defund them and the lefty NGOs, that's the charities that allow them and help them get in here. Thank you very much indeed. Paul Thorpe, absolutely outrageous. Whatever next? Jim Davidson had better watch out. I don't understand your comment. Was that meant to be funny? Because it wasn't. I thought it was pathetic. David Smith, we need a general strike or an election. Otherwise, we risk total unrest. The police and armed services support the government and not the people. Now, be careful there. If you join the police, Dave, or the army, that is your job. Your job is to do as instructed. So don't pick on the individual officers or the individual squaddies, because that's rather not playing the game, isn't it? Why don't they arrest the Queen for hitting that man? Have we got some pricks on here tonight? You mean Camilla? Well, one, it was when she was 16, which is about 60 odd years ago, and it's just ridiculous. Did you really waste time writing that comment? Get a life and get out of mine. Five armed coppers to nick the Father Ted creator. It would never happen in America. No, it wouldn't. Under the First Amendment. When reform becomes government, we need a British Bill of Rights. You are absolutely correct. Jackie, I'm sorry. I don't know how you've got blocked there, but come back on. Try another message and see if it works. Always said it. When our dear Queen died, the destruction of this country would accelerate. It's turned out to be true. Thank you very much indeed. Frankie K says, I've heard rumblings that Nigel Farage isn't much better, as if Reform and Labour have a false dichotomy, much akin to how US Democrats and Republicans were before Trump. I think you need to keep off the Kool-Aid, mate. I think you need to keep off the Kool-Aid. Thank God Starmer is nearly at retirement age. Well, there's no retirement age. If he wants to be the Prime Minister or be in politics, he can be there forever. Thank you very much indeed. Paul says, actually making a sensible thing there. Advance UK and Ben Habib is our best chance. Yeah, except they haven't got the popular appeal. I interviewed Ben. I thought he was a really nice guy. I thought it was very interesting. But I said to his face, I don't know whether you can get elected. It doesn't seem as if the UK is a true pro-UK party, and that's depressing, says Frankie K. Well, that's just rubbish. There's Reform, isn't there? There's Advance, Ben Habib's party, and then Rupert Lowe's trying to get something together. So I just think that's nonsense. I think that's absolute nonsense. Can you all please, the idea of this show, I don't know how it works on other people's shows, you talk through the chair, you talk through me. So I don't really want you to be having conversations with other people, yeah, in the chat. Gets in the way. It's boring. I thought they were mostly engineers. Maybe they can build their own warehouse, says the Gunner Lowdown. Thank you very much indeed for that comment. Right, where am I going next? Frankie K says they are 100% economic migrants masquerading as asylum seekers, 90% are military-age men. 25 likes, that's great. Thank you very much on YouTube alone. Great audience figures across all the platforms. Don't forget, if you'd like to help me out, press the little dollar sign. No one's done it yet. Come on and donate a few quid, or go to www.buymeacoffee.com/John Gaunt. Paul Thorpe, this is your last warning. I've told you not to talk and try and take over my show. I've told you straight now. I think I know who you are. I think you've got your own little show. You carry on with that. If you come on here, come on as an individual. Don't come on here answering my other people, because you're really beginning to piss me off, and I'll just block you. And I'm sure you don't want that. So you know what I mean. Denise Deacon, it's all just blah, 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 blah with this government. They have no substance or conviction whatsoever. Well, maybe at the end of this, they'll have some convictions, criminal convictions. Thank you for your point. There you go, Gaunty, says Nick Marshall. I've just bought you a beer on www.buymeacoffee.com. Thank you very much indeed. Let's go to Alien Intelligence Agency. Advance wants to remove benefits for children. Can't vote for that. All this money spent on hotels could have gone to poorer families, and most of it would have gone back into the economy. What a very, very good point indeed. Thank you very much. David Marks says, why can't the King dissolve Parliament and call a general election? People keep coming up with this. It's not going to happen. So you're really wasting your time, okay? You're going in timeout, Paul, because I've warned you and you've just messed me about, and I do not like that at all. Where are we next? Jackie Ward, you're back. I thought you'd been banned. Accidentally. They can kill two birds with one stone by putting solar panels on the roofs of the warehouses housing the asylum seekers. Yeah, very good indeed. Angie Barnes, well, I hope Starmer has a horrible birthday. I can't stand the twat. That's a bit rude, Angie, but I think I understand. I think I understand where you're coming from. John, no disrespect. What's the likes of... No. What's the likes of Jeff Taylor, Lotus Eaters? I won't ever be watching them because one of the blokes on that is an absolute moron. Ivor Cummings, he's a moron. And even Jimmy Dore, well, he's all right. Get up to scratch, mate. Oh, thank you, Finn. Thank you for your tips. I've only got a 30-year career in broadcasting, but thank you for your tips. Farage is not the man, says Kevin Savage. What do you mean by that, Kevin? Where are we next? Shane Bond. I don't understand that. Load of emojis. I think somebody being bored. Don't listen then. Carl People. Popple. Gaunty, Paul Thorpe has more clout than you ever have. Forget your coffee now. Well, fair enough, mate. If you don't like it, that's perfectly all right by me. Right? If he's got that much clout, why is he coming on my show and trying to pinch my listeners? That's up to him. I've never heard of him. I'm sure he's really important to you, but he's not important to me. And I'll tell you what, you can go as well. Maggie Young says, just got back and your show went off air. What do you mean it went off air? I started early at 6, or you came on at 6. What are you on about? I don't know what you're on about, Maggie. Sometimes it might be your thing, not mine. Jackie Ward says, I've been banned on YouTube and I don't know why. Well, you need to ask them, Jackie. It must have been whatever comment you put on earlier, because I see what you're doing now. You joined me again now on Facebook, which is great. I don't know that. I'm not. They've got these algorithms where they can, and suddenly you get into trouble and you don't even know what you've done. It's a bit like the British government. So, yeah, I don't like that, Jackie, but I'm glad you found us again via Facebook. Send me a direct message and tell me what it was you said, and we'll see where we can go from there. All right. Thank you very much indeed. I better go because I've got to get the tea on for my daughter. She's off tonight, so from tomorrow I'll be totally then doing my own stuff. And you know, I'll probably do it at 6:30 tomorrow. So see if you can join in there. Oh, I'm losing people. Jabba Fox FX says only just subbed, and I can go too. Respect Paul Thorpe. Fair enough. When you next speak to him, tell him not to do what he did, because that's not right. I wouldn't go on to his little show and do it, would I? But anyway, I take it as a compliment. Imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. Jackie Ward's giving me love hearts, so that's good to hear. So some things in the world are still okay. Don't forget, if you want to donate, go to www.buymeacoffee.com. If you want to do it by YouTube, just click on the little padlock there. Hope you enjoyed the show. That's interesting news, isn't it? Very interesting news that the Sun are saying, although when you read between the lines, they won't do what we want them to do. They won't do what we want them to do because we need them to basically put in a wholesale policy. But yesterday she just tinkered, and I think she'll just tinker again. Maggie Young's given me all the claps. Thank you very much indeed. And Paul, you're being a bit paranoid. Be careful. The police will put plants on the September the 13th demo. Beware. Well, of course, they wouldn't call them plants. But yeah, there will be people there listening to what people are saying. I agree with you. But that's where you take your chances, isn't it? Anyway, up to you. Lovely talking to you. Thank you very much indeed for joining in. I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, if you've got kids, give them a kiss, give them a hug. Hey, hey, hey. Don't forget to tell them you love them. See ya.